This is Irontrader, and this is Midday Trading. So today we're going to take a look here at the US dollar and the VIX, and then we're going to look at some seasonality charts. We take a look at the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, crude oil, and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have the old US dollar, and here we have the old VIX. Okay, now you can see the market is ripping up today. Yesterday we had that day with a big brouhaha going between Musk and the T-Man. But it looks like today here got a lot of stuff pretty much under control. But basically it was all about the jobs number. Jobs number came out way better than expected, and that's propelling it higher. So when you get where everybody is negative, then what you do is, right, like today you get that short squeeze. People are piling in, especially your retail trailers. I'm going to show you on seasonality charts here. You got to be just a little bit leery of the rally here, okay? Now, here we have the old US dollar, okay? So we came down here, made a 98.35. We had this low here of 97.92 level, okay? So we look at this and we look at the bottom here. We have this double bottom situation going in play here now, okay? So what we're really looking at, you can see these charts work for no matter what you got, okay? So here we have is the 8-day. See that? So 99.16, that's where we've got to get back above. Right now, that 8-day, see how it's holding it all the way on down? That's the key, okay? So 99.16. Now, get above that, then that US dollar is going to look at 99.93, and then we're going to look at old Hondo up here, 152 level, okay? Then we can come all the way up here to this price channel at 101.97. Now, obviously, if we can get above that, then we come up here to the old 100-day. You got 103.48, and then we have 103 on 92, which is your 200 SMA here, okay? But you have to get and close above this 8-day here first. That's going to be very, very key, okay, at that 99 and 116 level, okay? So now on the downside, what you're watching, obviously, we're going to watch at 99.35, and then we have this retest down here at 97.92. But right now, we have this double bottom in play and looking not too bad at all here, okay? So we have this RSI sitting at 44. That's plenty of room to run. We just have sideways action. The green is still below your red, but that can curl up. Again, it got to get above this 8-day, and then we can go higher. Now, the Fed, I don't think the Fed is going to do any kind of a cut, especially when you get a good jobs number. There's no reason to cut. Another thing is, too, is just because you cut rates, that doesn't mean interest rates are going to go, okay? It's based on the Treasury. Okay, just like last time. I mean, you know, back in the day here before the election, you know, they cut a half a point, and actually the interest rates went up. Okay, so you never look at it like, you know, oh, I'm going to cut rates and then everything's going to be back to, you know, 2% here on mortgages. It doesn't work like that, okay? So people and traders have to understand that, okay? So right now, again, just watch that 8-day on the upside. If you can, there's your target at the 21-day, and then we have that 50-day here. Now, we can see how we're downtrending here. See how we had this double top situation, and then we have now this series of lower highs. Well, we're still all the way down. So if you take that 50-day, that's a good, like almost like a trend line. You got to close above that 50-day, okay, and get towards that 101.97 to break that downtrend. But right now, you have a downtrending chart here. Okay, the VIX. Now, my only say, as I always say about the VIX, when the VIX is high, you got to buy. Okay, so now look how that VIX is spiked all the way up here to that 60 level, okay, and then came right on down. But look what the market did, just the opposite, okay? So the VIX, when it spikes up here, just like it did here or here, and a little bit here and here, it never lasts, okay? So just understand that. So I always want to take a look at the VIX. Now, what we're watching right here is we're going to be watching that price channel. On the downside, we're going to be looking at that 1708 on a closing basis. Now, obviously, if that is lost here, then we're going to come right down to this level here. You can get all the way down here to that 1474 level here very, very easily, okay? And then we can come all the way down here to this 12.7 level, okay? So right now here, we just have this sideways action. There's really no worries. There's nothing. There's nothing really happening. Yesterday, you can see here how we had that green candle, okay? Oh, big brouhaha going on, but it didn't last, okay? So just like these spikes, when it spikes up like this here, okay, that's buying opportunities in the market. So always take a look at the VIX here. A lot of people, traders say, the VIX doesn't work. The VIX does work, okay? Because when this was the buying opportunity, when that VIX gets that to 60, that was your buying opportunity to get into the market. And look how that VIX came right on off. Okay, let's take a look here now at some seasonality charts. Okay, here we have seasonality chart here on the old Dow. Okay, now you can go to my playlist. I got them all on there. Or you can just go right here, equityclock.com. You can look at the seasonality on anything. Okay, so here we have May, and now we are just starting into June. Today's the only the 6th. Okay, now you can see here where you get that June rally here. Now remember, this is over a 20-year period, okay? So you get that nice, it's racking right on up here, but then look how that comes right on off here by the end of June, and then we have a nice rally going into the end of July, okay? So always look at that summertime rally here. Then we have sideways action, and then usually after we get through that September, October, which is always pretty violent, then we have a nice rally into the end of the year here. But again, just watch this June territory, okay? Now we're having this melt up that we're having right now, and that's exactly what it is. It's a melt up. But when there's a lot of divergences going on the RSI on these charts, okay? So just remember that. Now remember, I'm not saying, get out of the market or short or anything like this. What I'm saying is this is a trader's market, okay? So what I'm about 90% in cash, and basically all I do is just trade it on a daily basis. All these long buy and holds kind of stuff. Now, yes, I do have stocks from way back here that I don't even mess with. But I'm talking about my daily trades or swing trades. That's basically in 90% cash, okay? But I trade every day. Like today was a great trade into Bitcoin, into TQQs, okay? I mean, everything from Google to Meta to Amazon. All this stuff is a really good trade, and that's exactly what it is a trade. Take it at the end of the day, put that money in your pocket. You don't know what the next day is actually going to be, okay? So now you can see here how it runs right on up, and then she just falls right off a map here, so just get prepared. Now, next one we'll look at will be the S&P. Okay, here we have the S&P, okay? Now, you can see what goes on in June, okay? We get that rally up, but look what happens. It's pretty much like the Dow, okay? We have that nice rally up, sucks a lot of people in, and then boom, all the way on down. And then you at the end of June, that's your buying opportunity to get that summer rally going all the way in through July. So this chart here is very similar, okay? Then we have sideways action, and then we get through that September, October month, and then we can rally up very nicely, okay? So just pay attention to these charts here. Now, again, they don't always work out every time, but this is over a 20-year period, 20-year average on exactly what does happen kind of a situation. All right, let's take a look here now at the old NASDAQ. Okay, here we have the NASDAQ. Now, you can see here how we have this rally in June, but this is actually a little bit better, okay, on the NASDAQ, okay? So it pulls right on back here, same way as the rest of them, then it rallies up, and then it pulls back again, okay? But these are your buying opportunities. See where we have that low, we have that higher low, your buying opportunity here to take that all the way back up here into that July nice time frame rally. Then we have that sideways action. Then we can buy in going into the end of the year, okay? So this one here is just a little bit different. But again, I just think when the market comes off, it's going to come off. Now, again, I just want to reiterate that it doesn't always be exactly like this. But when you're melting up like this, it's going to be a matter of time that never ends well. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. Okay, here we have crude oil. Now, again, crude oil is up here about $1.28 because it's got summer driving come into situation. Now, crude is a little bit different this year here because we got the wildfires, which are holding the back production in Canada at about 350,000 barrels a day. However, we also are adding oil from OPEC, about 411,000. Okay, so we got to see how this all going to shake out. Now, remember, if you get a good jobs number, people go out there, they're spending, they're going to be driving. This is summer driving, so always remember that. Now, here we had that pullback. Now look in June. Now we have this nice, good gradual rally up here, pretty much into that 4th of July territory. Okay, so just remember that. Then this is basically a good kind of a short situation. Unless we have that hurricane season, which comes up, then we can get these spikes going on, okay? Then you want to really pretty much short this at the end of October all the way to the first couple of weeks here of December, all right? But again, right now, this is the time frame where this crude oil does run up, see? So always pay attention to that, okay? Now we've had if you look at the regular chart, which I'll show you later today, there's an inverse head and shoulders on the old crude oil. So again, just pay attention where we do have a nice, good gradual rally up here until that July 4th area. Then you got to be a little bit cautious where she just sells right on off. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have natural gas. Now, here's that June time frame, okay? So what we have is this, like a sideways action, and then we have that sell-off kind of situation down to July. Then what you do is you have a nice, good rally going on up here because what you have is that hurricane season, okay? And that's really not too good. Hang on. Yeah, we have that hurricane season. So let me just, hold on a second. I think I just tapped the wrong thing. All right, we're back in the game. Okay, so this is what we got here as far as the hurricane season, which would be coming up here. Okay, so what you have here in June here, we just have this sideways action. You can see where natural gas here, it's just kind of like hanging in there right now. Okay, you're sitting at about 370. Okay, and we're looking at that 384 level. That's going to be the key. Okay, now this we have this sideways action. Then you notice that it kind of falls right off the cliff here until we get to this July time frame. Then what you do is you have that hurricane season coming in, and that's any kind of a disruption in natural gas will take this much, much higher, okay? And then basically, you can kind of like, it's a trading action here, but you can have it all the way to November, but you got to know when to get out, okay? Because even though you're going into the winter months, these are the futures, okay? So this is ready, when you're in November, the futures are already out there December, January, February, you're already going on the out months, and that's when she comes right on down. So you got to know when to get out of a trade or take a nice short ski all the way down. But right now we're here in that June time frame, so just have like a sideways action, but then it looks like you have a good selling opportunity here, and then we have a long opportunity, just the opposite of crude oil, to take this bad boy long, okay? All right, that's what I got for you. Now I'll be back here after the old pit close, and we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and then we'll take a look at the old indexes here. Now remember, this is a Friday, okay? So if you've got profits, put them in your pocket. You don't have any idea what's going to happen over the weekend situation, whether it's a controversy going on in the Middle East, or is it something with the T-Man and Musk or whatever like this kind of thing. So just remember that you can always buy back, Sunday night at 8 o'clock, okay? So you can always buy back. So let the information dictate to where you're going. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.